Hey guys, this is DoktorPebbles from Infinite Backlog. We're going to be doing things a bit differently for these next reviews, as we're taking a look at the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. A collection of the three main 3D action games of the Ninja Gaiden franchise starring Ryu Hayabusa. This collection contains the games Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, which we'll be looking at individually. Today we'll be taking a look at the starter reviews of 3D adventures with Ninja Gaiden Sigma. For transparency, a review code for the collection was provided courtesy of the publisher. The modern version of Ninja Gaiden came out on the original Xbox back in March of 2004 and took players by storm with its fast-paced action and combat, as well as its brutal difficulty. The following year, Ninja Gaiden received an updated release on Xbox called Ninja Gaiden Black, which incorporated gameplay changes and added mission mode containing new challenges for players to tackle. These games were exclusive to the Xbox platform, and PlayStation owners wouldn't get a chance to try out the series until 2007, when Ninja Gaiden was brought over to the PS3 under the title Ninja Gaiden Sigma. This version contained updated visuals, a new weapon in the form of Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, rebalanced game mechanics, and survival mode. Another addition to this game were extra chapters where you can play as the game's heroine Rachel, who utilizes her powerful demon axe for combat. This version of the game is used as the basis for Ryu's first 3D adventure in the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. This game is a story of vengeance for our protagonist Ryu as he bears witness to the slaughter of his clan by the evil Doku, who steals the Dark Dragon Blade. His path of vengeance brings him to the Holy Empire of Vigor, where he becomes involved in a grand scheme to bring about the full potential of the blade, summoning demons from another realm. With this game's high-speed combat and brutal difficulty from the 5th generation console period, is Ninja Gaiden Sigma worth mastering, or should it have stayed in retirement? Let's take a look at what works in Ninja Gaiden Sigma in the good. You are a ninja, which means you go fast, and boy do you move fast in this game. You're going to be slicing and dicing enemies left and right, and you can even decapitate them. You'll be jumping off of walls onto platforms, running onto walls, jumping onto other platforms, do flips, throw enemies, and most importantly, Hizuna Drop! This game makes you feel like a badass ninja and gives you many tools and maneuvers to demonstrate that with. Unlike its rival series Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden focuses more on efficiency when taking out enemies. There are no combo ratings here. You need to take out these enemies and take them out fast. You'll have many tools with which to dispatch your enemies with, from your trusty Dragon Blade to Nunchaku and even a giant sword. These weapons have their own movement speed and properties, so knowing when to use them will be crucial to your survival. You will also run into secrets hidden around the environment, such as ambush arenas which contain rewards, treasure chests containing items, and golden scarabs which can be exchanged at the item shop for certain items. Thankfully, the game does not penalize you for using items because this game is difficult. These enemies can hit you hard, and in the blink of an eye, your HP can be dropped down to 0 and send you into a game over. You'll face a variety of different enemies that'll really put your skill to the test. Wait, hold on. Where did he go? Damn it! Hold on. Dang it! Are you for real? Oh, no way! Oh, that is absolute horse! I believe it's time that we talk about what didn't work in Ninja Gaiden Sigma in the bad. This game is very difficult, but it feels like it's difficult for the wrong reasons. You won't have much of a tutorial at the beginning of the game, and will be left to your own devices on certain mechanics. One mechanic I became increasingly frustrated with is its dodge roll, which always puts you in a vulnerable position during the slow recovery animation, where other nearby enemies can take you out. But Doc, you're supposed to block and wait for an opportunity to get in a counterattack or parry. Here's the problem. Later on in the game, you'll be surrounded by enemies that can break your block in 1 or 2 attacks, leaving you vulnerable. It makes more sense to dodge out of the way from some of those attacks to get some breathing room, but because of the recovery animation, you're still going to get hit. Another problem lies in the fact that these enemies can throw you out of your block, and you barely have enough time to react to it. Did you know that you can jump cancel out of that animation? The game sure as hell didn't tell me, and I had to figure that out several chapters later when battling Alma. This leads into my next problem, where Ryu feels uncontrollable during gameplay. Sure, you can do many cool ninja acrobatic moves, but rarely will it feel like you're in control of Ryu when performing them. Ryu lacks fluidity to his movement, where aside from combos, your actions don't flow well into each other. This can throw off your momentum when you're trying to dodge around projectiles but end up dodging or jumping to places you are trying to avoid. Another thing that ruins the flow is aiming with the bow, which feels very unintuitive since it brings you to a dead stop and the aiming isn't precise. It also feels worthless in most battles since you're being attacked by enemies close up a majority of the time who move faster than you can aim and shoot. You can shoot the arrows without stopping and aiming. Good luck trying to hit anything with them though. I also wish this game didn't have any swimming segments because the swimming controls are god-awful and slows the game down to a crawl. While we're talking about weapons, even though the game gives you many weapons to use, the way you switch to them is really unintuitive. You have to pause the game, go into the equipment menu, then the melee weapon submenu, then select your weapon. Every time you want to use a different weapon, you have to pause and change to another weapon in the pause menu, which really ruins the flow of combat. Not to mention, some of your other weapons may feel too slow or too unconventional to use against these enemies because of the reasons I mentioned before. Also doesn't help that bigger enemies don't get stunned from most of your attacks and have moves that can take out more than half your HP. Most of the time you'll be better off with your default Dragon Sword or the Twin Blades. It also doesn't help things when you switch to Rachel, who feels much slower and less acrobatic than Ryu since she only uses her Demon Axe. Thankfully, her levels don't last long and only make up a fraction of the playthrough. The enemies in this game will give you a challenge, however they do not compare to the true enemy of this whole game. The camera. Be prepared to anticipate many attacks coming from enemies off camera, your attacks missing due to the camera's positioning, and platforming around made much harder because of both the camera and controls. One of the key moves, the Flying Swallow, which helps you close the gap with enemies, becomes completely unreliable at times due to the terrible camera. Meanwhile, enemies can just grab and attack you with pinpoint accuracy and reduce your health to less than half or just combo you to death. Speaking of which, make sure you save often because unless you have the auto resurrection item in your inventory, you'll be restarting from the last place you saved at. The lack of checkpoints amps up the frustration levels tenfold when save points are often far from the next section you need to get to and you have to fight or run through a gauntlet of enemies just to reach it. Then you die at the section and have to repeat the process again and again and again, which starts to wear on you. Now, I'm no stranger to this concept since Souls-like games do this, but this game's frustrating mechanics make these moments a headache to deal with. There will be enemies where there are infinitely spawning enemies, but the game sure as hell won't tell you if you're in one or make any distinction of it being one compared to the other encounters. These spots do make for great spots to grind in when you need to stock up on more health items, and with the rate you'll be burning through them, stocking up would be a wise investment. One item that I wish the game didn't automatically use for you is the Revival Talisman, which instantly revives you if your HP drops to 0. This can sometimes happen during regular enemy encounters, and you might be saving it for when you have to fight a boss later on, so it gets frustrating when it activates during a basic encounter. Hell, even Devil May Cry has the courtesy of asking you if you want to use your instant revive item first before you die. A story exists in this game, but it's honestly just an excuse for Ryu and Rachel to go from point A to point B, and in action games like this, is fine. That said, it feels like this game is really trying to take itself seriously and make itself seem deeper than it actually is. It all boils down to Dark Dragon Sword bad, kill demons, retrieve sword. One last thing I want to bring up is that the ranking system in this game doesn't make any sense. Even when I take a lot of time in the level and die multiple times, this game still gives me a good ranking. It's not really explained what the rankings are based on, but thankfully they're not important to the overall experience. Now with all that out of the way, it's time that we head into the opinion. Ninja Gaiden Sigma feels like a relic of its time. It has fast and fun combat buried under a litany of different technical and gameplay issues, which makes the game more frustrating to play through than rewarding. Most times it'll feel like sheer luck that you made it through parts of the game rather than your own skills, which takes away all the fun and rewarding aspects of being a difficult game. Since Ninja Gaiden, we have had many other fast-paced combo action games come and go, and add their own unique spin on the formula, whether that's in the gameplay aspects or its spectacles. Even for gamers looking for games that challenge you more, the Souls-like games of recent years provide such a challenge with their brutal but fair difficulty. As it stands, Ninja Gaiden just doesn't hold up well in comparison, where only the die-hard fans of the game who played it back in the 5th and 6th console generations can find enjoyment out of it. New players will probably be turned off by all the problems I mentioned, so I can't really recommend this game in this day and age when other better options exist. And now it's time for my rating. I would give Ninja Gaiden Sigma, this TV with a controller thrown into it, out of 10. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for part 2 of this review as we look at its sequel, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to check out some of our other videos and subscribe for more. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for watching.